Assistant Minority Leader Pugliese.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. You know, I knew this job when I raised my hand was going to be really hard. I never really understood how vulnerable I would be standing in this well every time I go up. And out of all three bills, I've spoken on all of them. I don't normally speak on thirds. I only speak when I'm incredibly impassioned about it. This one, I feel the most vulnerable on. And I'll explain why. I've heard a lot about, you know, wanting to support our children, which I want to do. I heard a lot about hearing each other, and I want to do that as well. And I'm just asking for you to hear me now on my very real and very deep concern. So yesterday, when we were having debate about this bill, I had come up, and for 2 days, I've been trying to determine the answer to one question. I read the bill, I couldn't figure it out, read the statutes, couldn't figure it out, talked to the drafter, we weren't 100% sure. And it was not my intent to bring it to the well to put anybody on the spot. I really just truly wanted to know the answer to this question. And the question that I posed yesterday was, can my 12-year-old, my daughter will be 12 in September, can she get an abortion without my knowledge and consent? And the answer I received when I was here, and I will say, I know it was a long day. There were a few people in the well who made some not so nice comments about my question, but I give everybody grace in this place because this is hard work. But my question was legitimate. It wasn't to put anybody on the spot. I just wanted to know the answer. And I have some real concerns about how that would go. A member came up here and said, nope, that's not true. You have to be 16. There is no place in statute that says 16. A minor is defined as a child under 18. 16 is not in statute. I asked then, you know, if there's any exceptions. And they said, no, you'll still get notified. And if you don't consent, you can go to court and have a judge rule on it. That wasn't quite accurate either. And I'm not saying anyone intentionally misled me. And I said at the well that I would go and make sure I confirm the information I received. But that's not quite accurate either. So there is an exception where I don't have to be notified and I don't have to give consent. And you can go, that my 12-year-old could go to court and ask a judge if she can have an abortion, and a judge can say yes or no without me knowing she's even there. And I know I'm a little bit cynical. I have gone to the court system before and asked for them to protect my children, and let's just say I was less than impressed with the way that was handled. So I'm now relying on a judge to determine if my child, my 12-year-old, can get an abortion. Here is my true heartfelt concern, and I'm asking you to hear me. My 12-year-old has non-classic congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Do you know what that is? Because I don't know what that is. Or I didn't. I do now, but I didn't then. She doesn't know what she has. She doesn't know how to spell what she has. She's 12. We have done experimental treatments. We've gone to see doctors. We've done second and third opinions, like I said on this last bill. And hope for no judgment on that, because when your child is rare, you have to take every opportunity to figure out what's wrong with her. She was misdiagnosed. There's all sorts of issues, and she's just one of 8, so at least in Colorado. And so she doesn't know what drugs she takes. If you asked her right now what medication she takes that she will take for her whole life, she doesn't know because she's 12. She doesn't need to know, because I'm her mother, and I'm here, and I need to protect her. And don't get me wrong, because I grew up in a very traditional, very Catholic family. My mother's not my friend, right? We didn't have conversations. I had to get information for myself. And so I understand There was a title challenge to an amendment that the representative from Douglas and I brought about minor consent and notifying parents. And I'm not judging the title challenge. I'm not judging anything in this process. I just need you to hear about where I'm still concerned. And the title was increasing access, so you can't let parents know because it doesn't fit under the bill title, which I agreed with and didn't fight with because that's right. At the same time, no judge, in my mind, can ask the right questions to get at the heart of what's wrong with my daughter because it's complicated. I mean, doctors couldn't figure it out. How's a judge supposed to figure that out? They don't know what drugs she's on. They don't know what medication she has. They don't know what this will do to her. I don't know what it'll do to her most days. And so I appreciate, I want to say the bill sponsors and the representative from Denver who we got the statute and sat down and figured out this process, I really appreciated them hearing me and listening to me. It's part of why I relayed the story about the other representative from Southeast Denver listening to me and hearing me. And so I want to say I appreciate that. And we acknowledge there's a problem. But within the bill title, we can't fix that, which means my 12-year-old can get an abortion without my knowledge, without my consent, with some judge who may or may not ask her about her medical interactions or know enough to know what the repercussions are for her. I need you to hear me that I am trying to protect my daughter, and you are taking that ability away from me. And I need you to hear me. And I don't know what we can do to fix it. And I understand the political realities of this chamber, but what I need you to hear from me right now is that there will be impacts, unintended consequences, way worse than usurping land use authority, that will happen to not just me, but other mothers who are worried about their children. And I'm there for my daughter, and I pray we're never in that situation, or if she was in that situation, that she feels like she can come to me because I am a supportive mother, and I will support her in all of her life choices. But you're taking that ability away from me. You're taking away the ability to protect my child. And I am just telling you right now, I am not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. And I don't, I haven't engaged as much in this policy of some of these bills because regardless of where I stand, I just want to make sure, as the representative from Larimer County has stated, I just want to make sure we're making good policy. And when we see the unintended consequences that could come from this legislation and we have an opportunity to fix it, I am just asking that we fix it. And I don't know what that looks like today, and I don't know that I'll have the time to help fix it, but I am telling you that I am scared for my daughter. I am scared that I won't have the ability to protect her. And that's what this bill does for me. And I also, in asking you to hear me, I want to also make a statement that to my colleague in Jefferson County, I see you every day. I don't have to see you for 5 minutes on one given day. I see you all the time, each and every day. And when the good representative from Boulder gets up here and talks about her trials and tribulations with her son, I feel you. Like in my heart, I feel you. Because I know that pain of trying to figure these things out and feeling, at least in my case, very alone. And so I feel you. And so what I'm asking you today is please, let's make this right. Don't take away my ability to protect my daughter. And I need you to hear that. Thank you.